Hey guys, Tad here from Attack of the Killer Podcast with another Patreon exclusive video. As always, want to thank you first and foremost for supporting Attack of the Killer Podcast on Patreon. Your money really goes so far for us. We really appreciate not just the money but the support. So, keep listening, keep watching these videos, and as always, comments mean a lot to me. I want to just know that people are watching these. Be great to hear some feedback, but won't waste much more of your time. Today I've got some huge boxes behind me. I'm gonna unbox a few things that I ordered last week from a website called Woot, which is used to be one of my favorite websites to find really cheap, awesome deals on anything really. Woot used to be a fantastic website where they had one item a day and you never knew what it was going to be, but it's usually something that was on like a deep discount or something that's very, very cheap. And several years ago they got bought out by Amazon. Haven't really bought a whole lot since then, but I always keep an eye on their page to see what they have. And this past week they had an awesome clearance deal on a bunch of stuff. They're like cleaning out a warehouse or something, and they had some horror stuff. So I had to pick these guys up because they're normally very expensive, and this time around they're very cheap. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got. In these boxes, I'll open the first one here. Okay. It's huge, so here we have, as you can see, Jason Voorhees. And what this is what they call a groundbreaker. And these things are gigantic sort of props that are pretty much life size. You can sort of get a look here. And you set them in the ground. They're like gigantic, life-size groundbreakers. So it's sort of like a Halloween decoration. And these normally run somewhere between $150 to a couple $100. And Whoop had them for about less than $25. His machete comes separate, and you have to set it in there, and I'll get to that eventually. They're made of like a really hard foam, which isn't the most durable, but holds a lot of detail and makes them very lightweight. Now, I would never in my wildest dreams pay full price for these things. I think the several $100 market is way too much for what they are, but for $25, yeah, why not? Hold a lot of detail. This is his look sort of looks like between like Jason Goes to Hell and Part 3 or something. The mask is a little too clean, the sculpt is weird, he's got all this damage on him. It's not really specific to any movie, but you can sort of see the detail on the base, and he's huge. I mean, here's my head next to his, so you can sort of see that he is full size. But yeah, not too bad. He has realistic hair. I read the Amazon reviews before I bought him, and they were pretty positive. And for $25, I couldn't pass him up. It's made of a hard foam, which I might have to return this guy because he has a few chips in the back. I don't know if they'll get me a new one or not, but they didn't ship them in the best containers. It's just a cardboard box without any kind of packing material, which I guess beggars can't be choosers. But yeah, he's sort of cool. Like I said, you see some of the detail. The gore in him is painted with like a gloss paint, so you can, looks like flesh wounds. He's 3D. You can see the back of his head with the real hair. Got the machete in now. So yeah, there's the Jason one. Not too bad. And you can probably guess if I have a Jason one, what's in the other box, right? Let's see. This one, I think, is even cooler. This is a Freddy Krueger one, as you can see. Everybody's favorite Freddy. Now this one has a little more detail to it. It's a little more realistic. They use a mix of matte and gloss paints to sort of get that realistic look. The eyes look really good and creepy. He's got the trademark sweater. Now what's sort of weird about this one is that he doesn't have a hat, which sort of is like weird to have Freddy without the hat. Of course he has his glove right there, and he's sort of pushing himself out of the ground, which is cool. And once again, life size. You can see my head and his head. And yeah, he's about the same size as Jason, which might be a little unrealistic, but I feel like overall this one is way cooler. They have the texture in the sweater is pretty good. He's got this sort of fabric. They don't come with these tags. Yeah, these are brand new. I paid the same price for him and Jason. They had a few other things, like they called like a wall mount where Freddy was breaking out from the wall, and they had a tombstone, which I don't really get the appeal, I guess, because Freddy didn't have a tombstone like that in the movie. Oh well. Anyways, yeah, so these are sort of cool. I'll bring the camera down here so you can sort of see what we're looking at here. This view isn't much better, but you get the idea. He's got a lot of detail. Look at that face. That's cool. I think he's way, way better than the Jason one, which you'll see in the background over there. Which I'm glad I found this one too, because I sort of wanted this one more so than I wanted the Jason one, but I didn't. I found the Jason one first and then ordered it and then saw this guy. And what's great about Woot, since they got bought out by Amazon, is that they are now Prime eligible. So if you have Amazon Prime and you order from Woot, you get the free shipping just like you would on regular Amazon. So these big bad boys were $25, free shipping. So I got both of them for $50, and they're normally, like I said, $150, $200, some of them even higher. I have no idea where I'm going to put these. They're enormous. The boxes are even bigger. It's a bit ridiculous, but what can you do? I don't know. Maybe put them upstairs on the porch, put them in the garage for now. I don't know. Put them at the theater. Who knows? There's just so much you can do with them, but they do take up a lot of room. They're completely solid pieces. But, I mean, I couldn't pass them up for that price. I tend to be a collector who will buy stuff that's cheap, not necessarily something that I need or want, and that's exactly what this was in my case. I'll admit these were impulse buys, absolutely, but I figured you guys would like to see them. They're made by Rubies, which they don't make the best likenesses and the best details, and they're not quite Trick or Treat Studios, but you know, price is right on them. I think they'll be cool for next Halloween. Put them out in the yard. They seem to resist weather. Like I said, they're like a hard foam, and the bottom of them is hollow, so probably can't really see in the camera, but they're very lightweight. It makes moving them around easy. You just have to be careful because the foam is sort of brittle and can break. But that's sort of my video review of these guys. Yeah, so I recommend always check out Woot for some good deals. If you like us on our Facebook page or follow, actually go like the Attack of the Killer podcast group edition on Facebook. I post a lot in there. I'll post deals. I'll post articles. I post a lot of stuff in that group. If I see more deals like this, I'll post them right in there so people can sort of grab stuff that I grab. And thanks again for watching. I guess I'll see you next time on Attack of the Killer podcast.